How's everybody doing out there? Let's start this thing up. God is my source. God is my power.
God is my power.
God gives me everything I need.
Everything I need.
So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Everything I need. Everything I need.
Dun, 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 dun. God is my source.
God is my source.
God is my power.
My power.
God gives me everything I need.
Teaches me everything.
So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Everything I need.
How you guys doing back there?
Test.
God is my source.
God is my source.
God is my power.
God is my power.
God gives me everything I need.
Gives me everything I
So
need.
I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Oh yeah.
No? Okay. Am I on now? Can I get a little more volume up here? My tender voice, I can't push it too much. All right, we could use Reverend Nancy. Yeah, that'd be great. So, welcome to all of you joining us online. It's nice to have you here with us today. My name's Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm the senior minister here at our Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, where we're coming to you live from the North San Fernando Valley. And I'm joined today by Mr. Jason Goldstein on the piano.
Good morning, you guys.
Voice. Yes, thank you. And our beloved Reverend Nancy Woods, our assistant minister. Let's give her some love as well. Here in the sanctuary and on the chat, we welcome your comments, so long as they're nice. Don't say anything nasty. Yeah. All right, so let's just start by taking a deep conscious breath together and release. And whether we're online or here in the sanctuary, we made it to church. That's a good start of the week. Let us rejoice in it as we come together for our call to service, which we call Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. Fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. Now, fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as we light the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path to submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in the sanctuary, within our online community, and of course within our own hearts. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own souls. There is one flame, one light within.
In acknowledgement of the Spirit within, we are recognizing that there is this presence, all-knowing, all-powerful, everywhere present. This presence that is the essence of all that there is the one power in this universe. So as we open our hearts and minds to hear it, to feel it, to experience it, we are able to know and to understand that this power is available to us and we are using it. And since it's able to do all things, we are using it for our greater good, a greater expression of life itself, a greater understanding and awareness of the wonder and the beauty of being. As we embrace this consciousness and understanding of the oneness of life, we allow ourselves to focus within, to understand and know that in that focusing, the infinite intelligence of the universe is allowed to come forth as the intelligence that we are using. It is what comes forth in the words, the thoughts, and the whole experience that we are here to share in this hour. So as we hear it through the songs that are sung, energy that is shared between us, the message that is delivered, whatever unfolds in this hour together is the Spirit saying yes to life. And it is because of this wondrous conscious in ourselves that we are able to experience it fully and completely. And it is understanding that the Spirit is the essence of who and what we are. We rejoice for the newness of life is finding its way into expression through us, as us, and by us. I am grateful, and it's with a very appreciative heart that I embrace each one of us here and welcome the opportunity to share the awareness together as we sing. And so it is. Good morning. As spiritual beings and having this human experience, our understanding keeps unfolding. And it is really, really, I see it as the new frontier of being, of life. It's the spiritual path. And being that it's infinite, that means that we're on a long journey, and I like it. So I'm more willing to let go of trying to control and much more open to let it be. And I say that because I become more and more aware of how when I surrender the expression of life, not only in myself, but in everybody else, I truly get to experience more of the beauty of being. I understand that God is in all and for all. And even though I won't sometimes feel like I need to fix the world and fix the people in my family and fix the people all around me, I know that that's thriving on the past. And if this teaching didn't teach us anything else, you can't change what has already been thought. You can only bring forth a new thought. So I'm allowing more and more. I have to say more and more, but not all of my family to be who and what they are. Allowing my friends to express the life the way they want to. And I'm working on allowing the world to have its own political view, too. That has been a journey. That has been a big journey for me. But I know and understand now more than anything that this inner awareness is my part in this whole process. My inner awareness of knowing and allowing it to come forth into expression from within. Because spirit knows that spirit knows. So therefore, if I see you as spirit, then I gotta know you know. And that my journey is my journey. And I can contribute greatly to the world, to just being who and what I am. And I can even contribute more to the world if I allow all the people around me to be who and what they are. It is a lesson that has been taught as long as humankind has been here. It's just taken me a while to get it. But I'm getting it. Controlling is not what I want to be about. Allowing life to unfold in all this wonder and all this beauty is my opportunity. It took me almost a lifetime to learn that, but I'm getting it. And I'm very grateful because then I don't have to fix anybody. Just see the truth and know it and embrace it. And it's so much easier. And thank you for letting me share that.
Thank you. Good morning, you guys. Nice to see everyone. When darkness closes in and you can't find your way, the doubts you drive around only seem to say, how can you make it on your own? Just remember you're never alone. Lean into me, and I'll raise you up. Gather your faith, and we'll walk on water. Hold out your hand when you can't go on. Let go and lean into me. When longing to be filled with peace that overflows, to hear my quiet voice, just to be still and know, in every sacred silence, I'm only a whisper away. Lean to me, and I'll raise you up. Gather your faith, and we'll walk on water. Hold out your hand when you can't go on. Let go and lean into me. With every leap of faith comes the risk you may slip and stumble. Leave what you know behind. Out on the edge you'll find that I won't let you fall. Lean onto me, and I'll raise you up. Gather your faith, and we'll walk on water. Hold out your hand when you can't go on. Let go and lean onto me. you guys. Thank you.
Isn't that a beautiful message? Thank you, Jason. All right, Spirit is telling us to lean on Him. All of it. Thank you. It's just beautiful. And there's prayer support for anyone that's reaching for a greater expression of life. And if you go online to cslgh.org, you would find there's always practitioners waiting to do treatment. There's a Zoom fellowship meeting at 11:45. That's facilitated by Reverend Jessica Fish this morning. And afterwards, join us because we have a potluck, so we can just have a chance to share joy face-to-face with each other for a little bit more. Because it's always sweet when you're in person. There's a sweetness to that. And we have a practitioner meeting at 1 p.m., and that's going to be in person too. Coming up, we have a Mommy Spiritual Spa, and that's on Wednesday, July the 6th. And it's in person at 9:30, and that's going to be facilitated by Reverend Nicole. And Reverend, so if you know some mother that needs to have a booster support group, tell them about this. There's a healing support group online July the 10th and at 1 p.m. And if you aren't a member, fill out the application and become. And you out there, you can actually join online. You go on our website and you will find an application to become a member of our center anytime. We are a center of love, so it is offering yourself a blessing to do that. So I want you to join me now as we stand and say the declaration of principles. We believe in one universal spirit manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal too and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe our faith operates upon a law of mind which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
You guys can join me in here. Heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of me. With spirit and nature, within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Yeah, heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of you. Heaven's inside of you. Oh, with spirit and nature, within and without. Now that you know that God's right here, right now. Oh, heaven's inside of you. Heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us. Oh, with spirit and nature, within and without. Now that we know that God's right here, right now. Oh, heaven's inside of us. Oh, heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us. The spirit and nature, within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Oh, heaven's inside of us. Oh, heaven's inside of us. Oh, heaven's inside of us.
All right. Nicely done, Jason Goldstein, everybody. Let's
Thank
give
you,
him some
guys.
love.
Thank you.
Love in the room, love in the chat. That's where it's at. All right. Staying with our annual theme, Resurrect, Rebuild, Renew in 2022. We're moving into this new month. Happy July 4th. Happy Independence Day. Eve. Yeah, so let the games begin. Our theme for July is freedom. Kind of a no-brainer, given that tomorrow is the 4th. And today's talk title is, I Am Guided by the Wisdom of God. I am guided by the wisdom of God. So I'm also aware of that it's been a year since we reopened out of COVID. And still we are dealing with this COVID, this very stubborn virus popping up all over the place still, like an annoying game of whack-a-mole. Silver lining, though, of course, is that most folks are just getting sick and staying out of the hospital, so that's good. We're learning how to live with it, right? And so we've been able to do this for a year now. We only had to close once because of a spreader event, so we've had no super spreaders. So this calls for a celebration. Yeah. It also means that our Google reviews and our Yelp reviews are like 3 years old. So if you haven't got online and done that yet, that helps build our presence online. And particularly if you happen to like the place, it'd be great to post that review. So, yeah. Gosh, a year. So we emerged from a theme of last month. In June, we worked with creativity into this theme of freedom for July, which you really cannot have one without the other, right? So one hand kind of washes the other. For it to be truly creative, one must be free to and willing to break through the conventions of old thinking to allow something new to emerge. So this is true whether you're an individual, an institution, or even in the realm of religion. So whether you are leading a leader running an economy or trying to run an economy, a group leading a major faith denomination, or even a physicist groping towards a theory of everything. At some point, the human brain is going to bump up against the limits of its knowledge and understanding. Now, this is where things get interesting, because we humans are constantly searching for certainty, within this realm of existence that's riddled with uncertainty, right? Certainty is safe. We know what's happened, right? And we go back to what's happened to try and learn from the past so that we can kind of navigate the future. And yet still, this idea of trying to build certainty into a realm of uncertainty is rife with amusing points of interest or aggravating points of interest, where time and time again we are confronted with life as relative truth versus life as absolute truth. Now, this is nothing new. If we go back to our ancestral coaching documents known as the Old Testament, even Jeremiah, who was more than just a bullfrog, wrote this. Thus says the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, nor the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches. And this is great advice for modern people as well, to be wary of this idea of to glory in anything. For to glory in anything is to think that we have arrived somewhere. Because this is a mental trap, particularly for those of us who have a few miles on us by now. We think we know things, and we think we're sure of things. And yet, again, we live in a life that's riddled with uncertainty, or what the Buddhists would talk about as impermanence. And so I have this quote from Suzuki Roshi. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the experts, there are few. When we come to life with beginner's mind, what happens is that if we're paying attention, we're going to find that there are absolute truths, things that we absolutely knew to be so that we could count on, which become now relative truths. And we're seeing this play out in the outer world. Now, for hundreds of centuries, right, for a long time, as human beings, this was kind of the best we could hope for, right? That we had a way of seeing the world that we thought was absolutely so, but the truth is that there was a lot more mystery. There was a lot more mystery than knowledge. There was so much as a people that we believed to be true that simply wasn't. Things that we thought as being absolutely true turn out to be relative truths. Well, relative to what? Well, relative to our own experience as we understood it. What this means, of course, is that it's very subjective, right? And we're trying to figure out why is this happening, or more specifically, why is this happening to me? So, all kinds of things like, thunder and lightning, plagues of all kinds, droughts, even leprosy. Later, the bubonic plague were all seen as some evil force out there that was punishing us for, defying the gods in some way. Now, later, these things were easily explained away as we learned more about science. That is, our ability to accurately measure, quantify, qualify the natural world. And in time, and I mean 17th, 18th, 19th century, even 20th century, but leading to the first Enlightenment, certainly, where we come up with this idea of the scientific method, right? A method of proving things to be true, absolutely true. But not only that, but we're also revamping philosophy itself as we try to make out what we knew of the world for sure and to make it fit into the experience of life that we were living, which also had the effect of explaining away a lot of the mysteries of life. So I suppose if you were a philosopher, 17th, 18th, 19th century, and you heard that there's a power in the universe available to everyone and you can use it, it very well could have been the scientific method. And in fact, I think many people have used the scientific method and developed a kind of religion around that, right? Called secularism. I'll let you ponder that one. But we use this method, right? Let's see if I got my deck right this time. So, in the old days, we used to think that the Earth was the center of the solar system, and Venus was here, the sun was here, and they believed that Mars was out, right? If you've seen any of this stuff, this is like, what, 9th grade history, I suppose. But we discovered that not only are there planets and then moons around the planets, we also just found out that there were microbes, right? The smaller animals, if you will, that there were whole biologic systems that explained the natural order of things. Let's see what I got here. No, not time for you yet. So in time, thinking shifted from an Earth-centered viewpoint of the cosmos, which for centuries had been known as absolute truth. So much so that the church put its reputation behind it, and not only that, would not allow any other ways of thinking under the pain of at least excommunication, if not worse, right? And then to double down, I think it took like 400 years to finally give Galileo a pass. I'm sure he was very happy to get out of purgatory and finally make it into heaven. So today we understand that stars and planets and so forth no longer orbit around the Earth, but rather around the sun. And still, this notion of thinking that the universe was Earth-centric helped build a consciousness of an anthrocentric or a human-centered existence. And I think as a species, we have really been unconsciously self-absorbed with ourselves without really giving much thought to the world and the other creatures with which we inhabit this world with, right? Until maybe the last 100 years. And when you think about the fact that we have been around for tens of thousands of years, and we've been aware that we've been aware for tens of thousands of years, this is kind of pathetic, but yet at the same time, it is the natural order of things. And still, even knowing this, we are still very much self-focused, both as individuals and as communities. We often live like we think we have it all figured out, that we have all the answers, that there is this air of certainty in our thinking. Some of us may even be a bit smug in our knowing. And yet, still, we live lives, all of us live lives that are linear. There's a beginning and there's an end to all of it. And we may have stripped away much of the mystery of the natural world, but still, none of us, not Elon Musk, not you, not Pope Francis, knows what's going to happen tomorrow. And this can be very unsettling. So, the Buddha recognized this thousands of years ago and sat under a Bodhi tree for years trying to sort it all out. Nature of suffering. The Buddhists reckon that once we become comfortable with the notion of our own death, we can be set free. But it is unsettling. It's unsettling to say the least. In this teaching, we recognize that there is a creative process to life that we are playing with that has love and law in it. And it's interesting to see how we have a divergence of opinions of what that means, and that we are seeing kind of a manifestation of when we focus too much on law and don't bring love into it, we run the risk of creating a world where loving kindness and compassion are pushed off to the side. And this is a shame because it separates us from our own humanity. It separates us from each other and separates us really from the divine. It's love and law. It's law and love. So when we see life from this perspective and we look at what's going on out there in the world today, this can be very challenging, right? It can be very challenging for people of faith, particularly if we believe the world was guided in a foundation of certain virtues and values, and then the apple cart gets flipped over. We start questioning things, right? And those who felt the angst on the other side of the equation are now joyous, and those who were once, at least joyous or at least cool with the status quo, they're all stirred up now. So, it's just very destabilizing and challenging. As a species, we have lived our lives thinking that resources are unlimited. We even talk about abundance being the natural order of things within our own teaching. That we've believed that the world is so vast that it could not possibly be impacted by things that we do. In an age that yearns for certainty, for facts, for answers, we today are often find ourselves driven not by reason, but by emotion. Not by reason, but by fear. And we quibble over what's legal, and we run away from what's ethical. And in today's world, unfortunately, opinion is often mistaken for knowledge. Now, for people of faith, not that I want to depress you today, but for people of faith, there is a way out of the maze, right? So Jeremiah, when he said this, thus says the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither the mighty man glory in his might, nor the rich man glory in his riches. He goes on to say, but let him glory in this. Him that glories in this, he that understands and knows me, that I am the Lord which exercises loving kindness. Wait a minute, this is out of the Hebrew Bible. Where's loving kindness coming from? This is the translation. Exercises loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth, for in these things I delight, says the Lord. Now, this is the opening quote for today's Science of Mind 365, from which this talk is based on today. So, and it's important to remember, we want to bring beginner's mind to this too, right? So don't dismiss it as some Bible verse, some old Bible, dusty Bible verse, but rather let it hit your heart like an ancestral heads up, right? That's how I read the Bible today, right? So Jeremiah was like 3,000 years ago, and yet they're dealing with the same stuff, right? We just keep circling back around, back around, back around. It's important for us as people of faith, to remember that it's not a two-dimensional circle, but rather a spiral. And we are learning more as we go along. And the world does have more love and respect and tolerance in it than it did 3,000 years ago, or even 10 years ago. That we can bring, what's important is that we bring an awareness of the divine as we understand it to be. Now for Jeremiah, it was Yahweh. But you need to find your way. You need to find your own way. And upon reflection, you will come to see that all of it is one way, right? Many paths up the one mountain. Now, by the way, this is from a trail crest on the Mount Whitney Trail, part of the John Muir Trail. Okay, fine. So how to get up that mountain? It starts the way all journeys do, right? With the first step. And so I want to share with you, some of you are familiar with this, but I haven't used it in a while, but I love it because it's a poem by David White where he says, start close in. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in. The step you don't want to take. The step you don't want to take. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing close in. The step you don't want to take. Start with the ground you know. The pale ground beneath your feet. Your own way of starting the conversation. Your own way of starting the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To find another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a private ear, listening to another. To find another's voice, follow your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a private ear, listening to another. Start right now. Take a small step you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused. Start close in. Don't mistake that other for your own. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take. So this is what I know about what's going on out there, and I see everything that's stirred up. I'm getting stirred up myself. It's stirring up families, it's stirring up communities. But we have to start with the first step, the step we don't want to take. We have to learn to listen with another's ear to find what it is we're trying to learn about ourselves. And to start out in confidence, that the Spirit is ever available, awaiting our recognition of it. So let's take a breath. And this is from Holmes today, that some universal and infinite intelligence governs everything, holds everything in place, and directs the course of everything. The intelligence that governs the planets in their course is the same wisdom that is in the anthill or the beehive. There are aspects of it that are automatic, and certainly these things work automatically within ourselves. But the personal use of it, whether or not we shall call upon the one mind and spirit to direct and govern our affairs, this depends on personal choice. This is what freedom and individuality mean? So take a breath with me. Release, knowing that today I am guided by the wisdom of the divine in everything I do, think, and say. I know the same wisdom that governs everything is brought to bear upon the so-called little things in my personal life. I affirm the presence of the wisdom and knowledge of its action in everything in my life. I know how to plan my life and direct my path because I recognize the infinite wisdom is doing this for me by doing it through me. The divine spirit always knows what to do. Therefore, I am never without divine guidance. There is one wisdom, one intelligence, one mind. I live, move, and have my being in this one. My every act, thought, and purpose is guided by this wisdom. So as we move through the rest of this day, let us do so mindfully, attuning our awareness to the divine wisdom, the divine intelligence that is within us and around us, to find ways of practicing love and law, of practicing loving kindness and compassion for all as we take the first step, not the second or the third, the first step, the one we don't want to take. Come in next week and we'll check in with each other and see how that works out.
Love is my religion. Up to me to give all my heart. Love is my religion. No one else can tell me where to start. And if I once decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here, right now. Love is my decision. Yeah, up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And if I once decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here, right now. Love is my decision. Up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And if I once decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here, right now. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Love is my decision. No one else can dance down that road. And if I once decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision, right here, right now. My decision, right here, right now.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Nicely done. All right, Daniel Nahmod, Allah, Jason Goldstein.
You know your stuff.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm going to ask Chloe to bring up a basket for the offering. We're going to go into our offering song. So for the many ways in which your generosity finds its way to support our spiritual home, we thank you. For those of you who've come prepared to give a gift personally today, just wait till the basket is open and come on up. And we'll do 2 verses today. All right. So as we get going here with our offering song, come on up.
Spirit gives through me. Spirit receives through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us.
So just take a breath with me one more time. Just for a moment as we recognize that this basket represents the heart of the individual, the generous heart of the individual, that which knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. It also represents for us the heart of this spiritual community as we accept these gifts with deep love and respect, as we know together this gifts go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only this spiritual community, but anyone connected to it in any way. That we know that we bless our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that we know for our world as well, that all of it is an emanation in some crazy, cosmic, sometimes confusing way, that all of it is an emanation of divine intelligence, allowing that which needs to be learned to reveal itself. That which needs to be revealed is being revealed to be healed. That we know this even for the planet itself. And as we know this truth, we see it demonstrating in ways great and small. This lifts our hearts. We feel a sense of grace and power that propels us into ways of living that raise not only our own life, but the lives of those around us. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. And so thank you for being here. Let's give Jason Goldstein some more love.
Thank you, guys.
Don't forget to give him a shout out on the chat. Invite the wonderful Reverend Nancy. Let's give her some love too as she makes her way up. And give yourself some love for getting up out of your house and make it in here. It's a lot more fun when you're here.
It is fun to know the Spirit has blessed us with this opportunity to become more aware that the step to take is that first step towards knowing and understanding and appreciation of our own wondrous being the expression of Spirit itself. So as we go forth from this experience, knowing that we can lean on that divine presence, no matter how dark it may seem. That presence is always awaiting our recognition, and the light is always there. And it's the blessings that come forth through this awareness is many. We open our hearts and our minds to accept them as we say together, and so it is.
Please join me in singing the peace song. This one we can stand up for and get in a circle.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as the power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Have a great day, you guys.